Hello, and thank you for joining me. I hope you're doing well this evening. Now sit back, relax, and let's get into our story. There's something awe-inspiring about standing in a place where time has collapsed on itself, where the dirt you walk on hasn't seen the sky in 65 million years. But when we dug too deep into the bones of the past, something stirred. My name is Leo Warren, and I've spent the last 14 years digging up the remains of creatures that once ruled the earth. Paleontology, for me, was more than a profession. It was a calling. I wasn't one for flashy museum exhibits or documentaries. I wanted the dirt, the grit, the thrill of unearthing a tooth the size of my hand, or a claw curved like a sickle. So when Dr. Clara called me up in late spring about a new site found in the Montana Badlands, deep within Bureau-restricted lands, I didn't hesitate. We called it the Pit. It was a steep, sun-blasted sinkhole that seemed to punch straight through the earth's crust, a place no one had charted, not even locals. The rocks were older than anything I'd worked with, Jurassic, maybe older. We set up a small mobile camp, just 4 of us. Me, Clara, her assistant Rowan, and Tyler, our equipment tech. The fossils we found weren't like any I'd seen before. Enormous, yes, but the bone shapes were off. Elongated skulls, serrated spines, even fused limb bones like they were never meant to separate. On the 3rd day, Rowan unearthed a claw. Not a raptor claw, not any known theropod. This one was almost translucent, glassy, with striations like veins of light inside it. When we ran the tests, it didn't match any known fossil structure. It was more crystalline than organic. That night, we heard howling. Not coyotes, not wolves. This was something deeper, like a wind screaming through bone. Tyler swore he saw something standing at the edge of camp. A tall silhouette, hunched. I figured he was just spooked, maybe dehydrated. But the tracks we found the next morning, they were not human. 3-toed, deep, and they circled the camp. Twice. We debated leaving, but Clara was obsessed. She believed we had stumbled onto a previously unknown species, maybe even a new branch of dinosaur evolution. On the 5th day, we hit the tunnel. It wasn't natural, not entirely. The walls were smooth, ribbed almost, like they'd been carved or grown. It spiraled downward like a coiled intestine, far beneath the sediment line. It smelled like sulfur and rot, like something dead was trying to breathe. We descended with headlamps. The deeper we went, the warmer it got. The air buzzed with this strange vibration, like the tunnel itself was humming. At the bottom, the passage opened into a chamber. Bones, piles of them, not fossilized, fresh. Some of them were from modern animals, deer, coyotes, even cattle. But at the center was something massive, a nest made of splintered rib cages and vertebrae. and in it, a shell, a cracked, leathery egg the size of a Volkswagen Beetle, and it was empty. Clara didn't believe me at first, until we saw what was carved on the far wall, etched deep into the stone with claws. Time is not a line. It coils. It waits. And below that, a drawing, crude but unmistakable. A creature with rows of eyes, limbs like folded knives, and a mouth that split its skull in half. That night, Tyler vanished. No tracks, no struggle, just his tent, ripped open from the inside, and a slick trail of mucus that led into the woods. We heard the scream an hour later. Not human, not entirely. Rowan wanted to leave. I agreed. Clara didn't. She said, we're on the edge of rewriting history. But history didn't want to be rewritten. It wanted to be left alone. The fossil pit wasn't a graveyard. It was a womb. The thing came back on the 7th night. I don't know how to describe it without sounding insane. It wasn't a dinosaur in the traditional sense. It had scales, yes, but also something else, like an exoskeleton growing over muscle. It didn't move like a predator. It glided, each step silent but heavy, like it warped the space around it. Its eyes, 6 of them, glowed faint blue. And when it opened its mouth, I saw rows of teeth turning inside the jaw. Clara tried to photograph it. The flash went off. That was the last time I saw her alive. It grabbed her by the shoulders, lifted her like she weighed nothing, and bent her in half. The sound was wrong. Me and Rowan ran. We didn't pack, didn't look back. Just ran until we found the edge of the ravine and climbed until our hands bled. I never went back. Rowan doesn't speak anymore. Institutionalized. Still draws that symbol, the coiled line. I filed a report with the USGS. They told me the site doesn't exist. The land is now restricted under military jurisdiction. They called it a seismic anomaly. But I know better. There are things buried in time that were never meant to come to the surface. Things that remember the world before man. And they're waking up. We didn't find fossils. We found an egg. And we were too late.